Okay, so picture this. A huge, statewide festival celebrating young talent. We're talking sports, culture, tons of positive energy. On the surface, what's not to love, right? But what if all this celebration is actually hiding a much deeper crisis? Let's dive in and unpack the Chief Minister's Youth Program.
This one question, right here, it just cuts straight to the heart of the whole issue. It perfectly frames this massive contradiction between the happy, festive image the government is pushing and the tough reality that a lot of young people in the state are up against every single day.
All right, so to really get what's going on here, we first have to look at how the program is officially sold to the public. Let's start with the government side of the story.
So, according to the Directorate of Sports and Youth Affairs, the folks who organized all this back in late 2023, the Chief Minister's Youth Engagement Program, or CMYEP, had some really clear goals. It's all about creating these competitions, channeling all that youthful energy in a positive way, and even getting some important social messages out there.
So the story you're hearing from officials is all about this vibrant celebration and empowerment. And look, it makes for great pictures, right? It's positive, and it tells the story of a government that's really connecting with its young people and giving them a stage to shine on.
But, and this is a big but, there is a completely different way to look at these events. Let's switch gears and explore this critical counter-narrative that really challenges the official story.
Wow. I mean, that is a powerful statement. It basically argues these festivals aren't about actually helping young people or solving their problems. Instead, it's about keeping them quiet, managing any potential dissent. It just completely reframes the entire program. So, pacification strategy. What does that actually mean?
Okay, so here's the core idea behind that critique. A pacification strategy is when you use these big, fun, feel-good events to keep people happy, and more importantly, distracted. It stops them from focusing on and demanding action on the much more serious problems bubbling away under the surface.
So if the festival is the distraction, what exactly is it distracting from? What are the major issues that critics are pointing to? Let's pull back that curtain. Let that number sink in for a second. 67,500. And get this, that's not the total number of unemployed people. That is the annual deficit. It's the new gap that opens up every single year between jobs available and young people needing one. That points to a huge systemic problem.
And this chart, wow, it lays out the disconnect perfectly. On one side, you have the fun stuff, the talent shows, the sports, the warnings about social media. And on the other, the massive crises that critics say are being completely ignored. Mass unemployment, a public service commission plagued by corruption allegations, a broken education system, and a serious drug epidemic.
You know, this whole idea of using entertainment as a distraction, it's not new at all. In fact, the critique we're looking at connects this youth program to a famous concept that goes all the way back to ancient Rome.
It's a concept called bread and circuses, and it's pretty much the classic political playbook for keeping people content with flashy, superficial things while the real, deep problems go unfixed. The argument here is that these youth festivals, no matter how good they look on the surface, are basically just a modern-day version of those Roman circuses.
All right, so we've got two completely different stories here, right? A celebration of youth on one hand and a strategy of distraction on the other. So how do you figure out what's really going on? Well, the analysis suggests we need to stop just watching and start asking some really tough questions ourselves.
First up, and this is a big one, follow the money. Now, the point isn't that festivals are inherently bad. It's about priorities. Where is the cash really going? Is it being spent on a temporary event, or is it going toward long-term solutions, like career counseling that actually build a real future for these kids?
Okay, next question. What's the actual long-term impact? What happens after the lights go down and the crowds all go home? Did winning that singing competition actually lead to a career in music? Or was it just, a great week and then back to square one? The answer tells you everything about the program's real value. And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most pointed question of all. If officials are so concerned about substance abuse that they're using these festivals to warn against it, then you have to look at their actions, not just their words. A budget is a statement of priorities. And this comparison really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is the real goal to actually solve the problem, or just to be seen talking about it?